Radar Reacts. The ghosts are real. Call of Duty Ghosts is coming this November, and it's going to hit next-gen consoles. I'm Hollander Cooper. Here with me is
Lorenzo Valoria.
Henry Gilbert.
And, confirmed officially after leaks and rumors and years of rumors, actually. The next Call of Duty game, Infinity Ward is developing it, and it's going to star the Ghosts.
The Ghosts.
We're guessing are either a prequel or more likely a sequel. Either way, you're probably going to play as Ghost from Modern Warfare 2 because, spoiler warning, he gets shot and then lit on fire.
Scattered. Yeah, he gets pretty owned by General Shepard, not Commander Shepard. But
No,
General
Commander Shepard would never do that. So here's what we know: it's a new title with new gameplay experiences, new story, new characters, new setting, and more importantly, new engine. So what do you think about that?
So, originally when the box art was revealed the first time, I thought it was going to be a prequel or something, but just from the new trailer coming out, it looks like it's going to be like a new team of ghost
there's
dudes
a bunch of ghosts
that are maybe inspired by the original Ghost guy because they like to put skull faces on their black masks.
And maybe after the massive war in Modern Warfare 3, they're like, we got to be more proactive with a whole team of Spec Ops dudes.
Who should we name them after? The Martyr, the Ghost Man, and then there's just like a charred corpse on the ground and his mask in his hand. So I'm mostly surprised. So I mean, the box art reveal looked current gen. I was kind of expecting them to just stick with current gen, but it looks like they're going to do both with their new engine. What do you expect it's going to be like?
Well, the new engine thing makes me interested. It's really hard to, as we've seen in previous generations, it's really hard to get parity with that kind of thing. Like, usually one side is better than the other. Either, like on the PS3, we saw that while the PS3 looked better, the PS2, some PS2 games weren't, like PS3 games are stripped down compared to PS2 games. Well, meanwhile, 360 games looks pretty awesome compared to 720 games, which people didn't put much work into.
Or original Xbox games.
Original Xbox games, yeah. So I'm curious to see which, like, I wonder where they put their A team, or if their A team's just on everything.
Yeah, and if you look at, we don't have many examples of how that works now. The only one we really have is Ubisoft built the new Assassin's Creed engine for like their next gen and current gen engine, and Assassin's Creed 3 was super buggy. So it looks like that straddling that line is more difficult than people anticipate.
Right.
But since 8 million people play it on the 360, I don't think all 8 million will immediately switch over to the 720 when that comes out.
They will not.
No, I don't think anybody's going to buy a new console just for a new Call of Duty.
I think you'd be surprised by how many people want to get the shinier version. So let's look through some quotes. There's a CEO of Activision Publishing, Infinity Ward has set the gold standard for first-person action for a generation, and they're doing it again with Call of Duty Ghosts. So, next-gen Call of Duty. Also, there's another quote. Everyone was expecting us to do Modern Warfare 4, which would have been the safe thing to do, but we're not resting on our laurels. So what do you think about Infinity Ward trying to finally, now that Infinity Ward is sort of its own company, or its own company now,
the next generation,
making the next generation, because Respawn is, everyone who made that is gone. They've been sort of not riding on the coattails, but riding on the coattails.
They had to be rebuilt.
Success.
Yeah, this is the best time for them to do it because it's a new console. You kind of want to start your IPs out fresh a little bit, or your franchises out. And, this is the time to do it. Do the Ghosts.
I also wonder, Black Ops 2 was a Treyarch game. They were definitely the first developer on it, but Raven was backing them up. That
Sledgehammer.
The Call of Duty is not a one developer thing anymore. Like it's basically every free developer that Activision owns works on it. So,
and then some more that aren't.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I think was interesting at the end of the trailer. So the trailer is really, you honestly don't have to go watch it. It's a bunch of people putting on like tribal war paint and like knight helmets and like just
samurai.
It's just showing like, look, people put on masks. You get it? This is a minute and a half long and there's no gameplay.
It's a History Channel commercial.
Yeah, and then at the end of the commercial, you see there's like 7 ghosts in that.
There's a bunch of them.
And there's a dog.
There's a dog, yeah.
There's like a German Shepherd. So I'm thinking, Infinity Ward has always done the Spec Ops co-op campaign, whereas Treyarch does the zombies. I'm wondering if you're still going to have your traditional gung-ho, G.I. Joe, we're going to save the world, just me, regular single-player campaign, and then maybe Spec Ops mode will be blown out into a full campaign made for maybe at least 4, maybe even more players.
8-player co-op. That might be something
co-op.
cool. Yeah.
I mean, that would
be next gen.
Yeah. So what do you think we're going to look at gameplay wise? Anything different, or are you expecting them to not ignore that pile of money that they seem to love shoveling into the furnace every so often?
No, more is better sometimes, but yeah, definitely something to do with co-op would be a lot cooler, I think, because the single player is, it's always pretty much the same. Like you got the big set pieces. Black Ops did a couple of interesting things with like player choice and that kind of thing, and I want to see if they take inspiration from that. But yeah, I think you're right. They should do something with co-op.
Yeah,
especially with a shooter like that.
Also, after Activision was playing around with outside community stuff like call it the Elite thing they did, I'm wondering how they're going to integrate their multiplayer with whatever Sony and Microsoft do with their next gen like online communities. We know there's the share button on the PS4 and all that stuff. I wonder how much the first Call of Duty Online is going to hook into that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, so this game is actually being it's announced now, but we're going to see it on May 21st at the Xbox Next Gen, at Xbox Infinite, or whatever they're
Xbox
calling
Reveal.
it. Xbox Reveal
Xbox
event.
Reveal.
Yeah, hashtag Xbox Reveal event. So if you're looking for more information about it, you can watch that. Or if you have nothing else to do that day, and we're guessing you probably don't, because we don't, come to Games Radar, because we're going to have a Radar Reacts about everything Microsoft announces. We're going to have analysis of stuff. We're going to have editorials. We're going to shoot each other with Nerf darts because we're going to be so excited.
Wait, I have one more prediction about that though too. So there's a rumor that Respawn's game is going to be a 720 exclusive.
Ooh.
Like, what if they reveal the next Call of Duty at this event, and then Respawn comes out and like, well, forget that, guys. Here's the real next game.
Will that happen? You'll have to come back on the 21st to find out.
And hope in the hearts of their followers. There are those who wear masks to protect themselves.